From so many places, near and far, we come together as one in spirit. In the midst of these challenging times, may we find hope and faith in celebrating new life. May we hear old stories anew to refresh our spirits. May we warm our hearts and spirits with mystery and wonder. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome. Come, let us worship together.
Let us bring the light tonight. We light our chalice for our values of faith and hope and love. This is what we mean when we say each week that we are Unitarian Universalists and that we are a church of the open mind, of loving heart, of helping hands. We take care of the planet Earth and each other. We are taking care of each other today by not being together. Taking care of each other is not easy sometimes. Sometimes it makes us sad, but we know that it's the right thing. We also light our Christmas candles this evening. Advent is a season of waiting, but the waiting is over. We lit our previous candles for hope, love, peace, and joy, and tonight we light the Christmas candle because the waiting is over and we have hope, love, peace, and joy in abundance. And now I invite you to please join me in the words of our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
Bring a torch and Aunt Isabella, bring a torch and quickly run. Christ is born, good folk of the village, Christ is born, and Mary's calling, beautiful is the mother, beautiful is her child. Come and see within the stable, come and see the Holy One. Come and see the lovely Jesus, brown his brow, his cheeks are rosy. Hush, hush, silently now he slumbers. Hush, hush, silently now he sleeps.
have a story to share with you today. The title is Tough Cookie, a Christmas Story by Edward Hemingway. Once upon a time, while Fox was visiting Christmastown in the land of holiday treats, a little cookie, still warm from the bakery oven, burst out the front door and shouted, "I'm a sweet cookie." Well, hello to you too. And since you brought it up, you do look sweet. Of course I'm sweet and fast. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the sugar cookie man. Fox never could resist a challenge, so he gave chase and shouting back. You look very sweet, sweet enough to eat. Haha, just try to eat me. Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the sugar cookie. Hey! Fox was pretty fast. And he loves sweets. Crunch. But Cookie wasn't sweet at all. And Fox spit him right out. Black. You taste awful. How dare you? I'm a sugar cookie. I taste wonderful. Sorry to break it to you, my little friend, but you taste terrible. Plus, I think I just broke my tooth. You are one tough cookie. But I'm sweet. No, you're not. But if I'm not a sweet cookie, then what am I? A slowpoke who tastes terrible? What do I do now? Boo-hoo. There, don't cry. Maybe you just need some sweetening up. You think so? It's worth a try. So after a quick trip to the dentist to get his tooth fixed, Fox took Cookie to the Christmastown spa, where the elves dipped him in delicious eggnog, sprinkled him with powdered sugar, and sang him sugary, sweet Christmas carols. Fox gave him a lick, but Cookie still tasted terrible. You said you were a slowpoke. Maybe we should work on your running instead. So Fox signed up Cookie for the Sweet Treat Christmas race that very afternoon, and they headed for the park. But Cookie's stubby little legs and lack of experience made it impossible for him to keep up with the more seasoned runners. And as hard as he tried, run, run as fast as you can, Cookie, he came in last place. Cookie was exhausted, and he didn't feel so tough. Was he cut out for anything? Fox thought so. Every treat in Christmastown should be able to build itself a proper gingerbread house. You can too, and I'll help. Okay. So they found a nice little spot in the gated community of Cookie Cutter and got to work building and decorating. But when they were finished and Cookie went inside his beautiful home, crash! It didn't exactly hold up. And that's when Cookie crumbled. I'm not sweet. I'm not fast. I can't even make a gingerbread house. Everything I do is half-baked. Don't give up, my little cookie. We'll figure this out. You've just got to hang in there. Why not hang with us? We've been looking forward to meeting you all day. Huh? Said Cookie. What do you say? It makes perfect sense, seeing as you are a Christmas tree ornament, and so are we. I am? Of course you are, silly. You're not like other cookies. You're special. Baked with glue and lots of salt, with a little hole in your head for a ribbon. So that's what that's for. I should have guessed. Cookie finally knew what he was made of. He couldn't have been happier. That afternoon, he hung with care from a branch on the biggest Christmas tree in the center of the park, with the sweetest view in town. Overjoyed, Cookie shouted for the whole world to hear, "Look, look, look at me. You can't reach me. I'm an ornament on a tree. Make some room up there for me, Cookie." Fox never could resist a challenge. The end.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born. He gave me a watchman, yes, a watchman upon the city wall. And if I am a Christian, I am the least of all. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born. Down in the lowly manger, that holy babe was born. Yes, he was. The Lord brought down salvation, that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.
For as long as most of us can remember, Unity Temple Unitarian Universalist Congregation has had a tradition of showing our version of a Christmas pageant on Christmas Eve. We have Mary and Joseph and a baby Jesus. We have innkeepers and wise ones. We have shepherds and sheep and angels and every friendly beast you can think of, and even ones that you didn't think of. We have one rehearsal the night before with a soup supper, and it is just as chaotic with excitement and confusion and joy as you might imagine. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. Second only to the next night when we get to share all that wonder and talent and glorious humanness with the gathered congregation. This year we were unable to bring everyone together to make that happen. And so instead, we gathered up old materials from pageants past and created a new pageant to share with you tonight. Each year it is the same and the different and full of joy and laughter and all of who we are. I hope that shines through again right now. Imagine, if you will, that you are in the midst of a cold, dark winter. I know that won't take too much imagination. Imagine that you are not sure it will ever grow warm and light again. And then imagine that you hear a story of hope, a story of new beginning that is at once familiar and brand new. No one really knows when the baby Jesus was born or how or what really happened that night, but it was a special night. It was a wonderful night, full of hope and love. It was so full of hope and love that it has been told over and over again. We need these stories sometimes, especially in the middle of a cold, dark winter. And so today we tell you the story of Jesus' birth in a new and familiar way. I invite you to open your hearts and minds as you watch and listen. We first set our stage by inviting the friendly beasts, who are the first to make their home in the stable. Our song, Jesus Our Brother, is in honor of what they brought that day. Long ago, in a faraway land called Judea, a man and a woman named Joseph and Mary had to make a long journey to the city of Bethlehem because there was a new law that said they had to go there to pay their taxes. It took Mary and Joseph 3 days to walk to Bethlehem. Mary was going to have a baby very soon, and Joseph worried about her making such a long journey. They started out early each morning with bags of bread and cheese to eat along the way. At night, they were very tired and looked for an inn where they could sleep.
Look, Mary, I can see the rooftops of Bethlehem ahead of us. We're almost there.
Thank goodness. I'm starting to get really tired and it feels like the baby's almost ready to be born.
Don't worry, Mary. We'll stop at the first place we come to.
Wow, there's a lot of people in town. I guess that shouldn't be a surprise.
Here we are.
May I help you?
We'd like a room.
Do you have a reservation?
No, we weren't sure when we would arrive.
Sorry, there are no rooms open.
Look, Mary, see another inn right over there. Do you have any rooms available?
Sorry, we're full. Trying the place 3 streets over. It's bigger.
There's gotta be a room somewhere. Don't worry, Mary. Do you have any rooms for me and my very pregnant wife?
I don't care who you are. Can't you see we're full already? Go away.
I'm starting to get really worried, Joseph. I think the baby's on its way. Don't worry. There's an inn right there, and there's a light in the window. Hello, my name is Joseph, and this is my wife, Mary. We've been traveling for days, and it's almost time for Mary to give birth. Can you please help us? We just need a place to rest.
I'm sorry. There's no room inside here, but I bet we can make some room in the stable. Come with me. It's a little crowded, but mostly clean and very warm.
It smells nice, like fresh hay. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Now, everyone close your eyes and imagine time passing. Okay, you can open them.
Oh, it's a boy. And his name is Jesus. Did you hear something?
Did you hear something?
Wow, look at that star.
Where did that noise come from?
Are those angels over there talking to us? Do you see those angels over there?
I think so.
Wow. Wow, I guess we should listen to the angels. Come on, sheep.
Yeah, come on, sheep.
Come on, sheep. He is a beautiful and amazing child. Mind if we stay and rest a while?
We wouldn't turn anyone away. Look, wise ones, look at that star.
It's shining so bright. It must be for something very special. Let's follow it and see where it leads.
Congratulations, what a wonderful child. This child will be our teacher. We brought some gifts for you. Here's some gold. And frankincense. And myrrh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This story of a wonderful child born in unusual circumstances is just one story. A child named Jesus, born of Joseph and Mary in a stable years and years ago. There are so many, many stories of babies being born in all sorts of circumstances. There are not always angels or prophets or wise ones or even a stable full of friendly beasts. And yet it is just as Sophia Lyon Fawes wrote, each night a child is born is a holy night. Each of us sitting beside a baby's crib feels glory in the sight of a new life beginning. Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. I am so grateful for all the young ones among us over the years for the gift of sharing this story with them and with all of you. We give thanks for the gift of each child and each person they grow up to be, and grateful for all of who they are. This isn't how I expected Christmas to look this year. Not more than a couple of days ago, I was envisioning our sanctuary filled with a humming rumble of children tucked down in the cloisters, ready to make their entrance and walk towards our Unity Temple stable. I was imagining a cozy time with extended family having come from afar to celebrate the holiday together. I was hoping for a steady progression towards ending this pandemic, and so on. You, no doubt, have your own list. Instead, well, here we are in a mostly empty sanctuary, improvising yet again. It's not what any of us wanted. I've got so many big feelings about this, I barely know what to do with them. Even with all that, despite it all, Christmas is still here. It is here whether we are ready or not, whether we are with our loved ones or not, whether we are sick or not, whether we went on our trip or not. Christmas is here. Which maybe sounds about right. That's kind of how Christmas is. It's full of unexpected twists about making a way out of no way, about following stars and finding where you were looking for anyway, about babies being born in the most unexpected of circumstances, bringing new possibility into the world. Christmas keeps on offering us something to ponder even in the most challenging of times. I was looking at my Facebook memories from Christmas Eve's past, and there is a steady flow of pictures of my kid in pageant costume. At the age of 5, he is now 10, he became a shepherd and never looked back. Although one year he looked a lot more like Darth Vader and less like a shepherd. We always have a large and glorious contingent of shepherds in our pageant, and although I love each of my shepherds dearly individually, I must confess I never really thought about them much as a collective. But as I thought about the Christmas story this year, I thought about that great line that the angels say to the shepherds, "Fear not, fear not." Fear not, the angels say to the shepherds. Drop what you are doing and go follow this star and find this awesome baby that we are telling you about. Fear not. Fear not, they tell them, even though there is plenty to be afraid of. Imagine if you were just going about your business and all of a sudden a bunch of angels were talking to you. Imagine if you had plans for the day and you suddenly got an urgent message to drop everything. Imagine if you were told that you should do something and it felt scary and important and totally new, and you knew down deep you had to try it. Imagine if you wanted some direction, but all you knew was that you had to follow a star. That is some scary stuff. It's some scary stuff, even with those angel voices saying, "Fear not." My friend and colleague, the Reverend Lynn Unger, describes this moment in the story. She says, "It's all completely absurd and unbelievable, and no one in their right mind," which neither the shepherds or the sheep probably were under the circumstances, no one in their right mind would have the faintest idea how to respond. Any reasonable person would conclude that the sky was falling and hunker down. But these guys, these plain, extraordinary guys, they get their sheep together and go out to look for a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes. Think about that for a minute. Swaddling clothes were what everybody those days wrapped their babies in. It's like saying, you will know for a sign when you see a baby in a onesie. But these dudes were like, okay, sure, fine, let's go see what they're talking about. And they said that, I bet, even though they were afraid. It's just how it is sometimes. You keep going even when you are afraid. You just keep going in the hopes that it won't always be like this, that you won't always be afraid, that when you get going, the thing that got you going, even when you were afraid, gets bigger and bigger until you aren't that afraid at all. Fear not. Why shouldn't I fear? I wondered to myself as I thought about a message for today. There's always plenty to be afraid of or worry about if we let ourselves do that. Why shouldn't I fear? And then I remembered a night a few weeks ago when something happened and I was alone and I wasn't sure how to handle it. And I texted some friends and they came right over to help. And I thought, oh, that's why. Fear not, because we are not alone. In that story of Mary and Joseph wandering around a town where they were about to have a baby and they didn't know anyone and everything seemed about as bad as it could be for them, they were surely terribly afraid. And then it turned out that they were not alone. They did find a place to be. They had friendly beasts around them, and then the wise ones came, and the shepherds, and they were all there, caring for each other in some way, having moved through and with fear to get there. The pageant always ends with that image of all of them there, all together, a visible reminder of that invisible truth that we are not alone, but are surrounded by love and care. Fear not. In the story of the tough cookie, our sugar cookie man starts out thinking that he is a sugar cookie man, but he isn't who he thinks he is. His friend, the fox, helps him try and figure it out. He encourages him. He cheers him on. The sugar cookie man keeps on going even though he is sad and confused, until the sugar cookie man finally discovers he's an ornament. He didn't even know such a thing was possible. His friends helped him there. Fear not. This Christmas didn't turn out like any of us expected. Last year, we thought for sure we'd be farther along than we are in combating this pandemic. We didn't know about all the disappointments and the losses still to come. We are maybe now even feeling less hopeful than before. Sometimes all those big feelings are just too much. And still, Christmas is here anyway. Fear not. Lynn Unger continues in her reflection on the shepherds. I think maybe the spirit of the shepherds is the Christmas spirit I'm looking for. The spirit that in the face of terror and confusion is willing to entertain the possibility that wonder could be in the mix as well. The spirit that is willing to be amazed and curious and brave enough to say, let's go see, even when the instructions aren't very clear and you don't know the road. Let's go see. Let's go see together. Fear not. Even when things are hard and challenging, there is bravery and kindness to be found in the hearts and souls around us. Fear not. Even when we are afraid, there is also more than that fear. There is hope and faith and possibility to guide us along the way. Fear not. We are not alone, but surrounded and held by so much love. And so may it always be.
I'm Kathy Clark. At Unity Temple, we give our offerings to organizations that align with our values. This week, our offering supports Housing Forward and is being given in memory of Carrie Banks. Unity Temple has been a longtime partner and supporter of Housing Forward, which is passionate about one goal, ending homelessness in west suburban Cook County. In Carrie's obituary earlier this year, her husband Steve wrote that Carrie was deeply committed to Housing Forward and their work to end homelessness. She served as their director of communications for 3 years, bringing her creativity and passion to their social media, annual reports, and promotional materials. For as long as I can remember, a member of our congregation has served on the board of Housing Forward. And many members, including the Bankses, have volunteered in the PADS program, staffing shelters and preparing meals. My 3 years on the board expired this year, but we are still ably represented by Patrick Heron. Housing Forward exists for the men, women, and children in our area who are in the midst of homelessness and housing crisis, and for whom the comforts of home are out of reach. During the holidays and in the midst of the coronavirus crisis, these needs are particularly acute. Today's offering will help Housing Forward respond swiftly through the provision of safe, stable, and long-term housing, a home, a place of comfort and peace. You may donate by sending a check to the Unity Temple office with Housing Forward on the memo line, by going to the Unity Temple webpage, or by following the instructions on your screen. Housing Forward is deeply grateful for the longtime partnership with the congregation of Unity Temple. May what you give bring you joy.
A reading by Sophia Lyon-Faz, adapted. For so the children come, and so they have been coming. Always in the same way they come, born of those who have come before. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise ones see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet, each night a child is born is a holy night. Parents sitting beside their children's cribs feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this life end, or will it ever end? Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
At this special time, from our different homes and from our sanctuary, we have come together in spirit to share the celebration of this holy day. It is our tradition on Christmas Eve to light candles in the darkness and silence and sing Silent Night, sharing our lights and voices. We will do that this Christmas Eve too in our many different places, holding one another in mind and heart. As the light of our candles increases, so does the hope and courage and love that we bring to one another. I invite you to light a candle as we do. May our lights shine brightly in the days to come. May we fear not, for there is hope and faith and possibility. May we know that we are not alone, but surrounded and held by love. Go in peace and love.